Welcome to Earth Speed. Now I want to share everything I learn with you as I stumble my way through learning how to farm. I'm going to be inviting entrepreneurs who are building better businesses for the planet and teachers who will share their wisdom so we can all learn together how to be more self-sufficient and resilient. So welcome to episode 2, Aquatonomy. This episode is about the gift of water and self-reliance. All right, so growing up in cities, the majority of people on this planet take water for granted, right? I mean, it gets pumped in from who knows where, it ends up in your faucet, you turn it on, you drink, voila. For many, that's not always the case. And I've had a personal experience with that reality last year when the winter weather dropped below freezing for an extended period of time and Texas just was not prepared.
Texas, for the first time in weather history, under that winter storm warning.
Our state's power outage disaster quickly transitioned into a water crisis.
Even our water treatment plants neared collapse, leaving the water that we did have dangerous to drink. So there was a boil notice. So people were desperate. They were drinking icicles, melting snow, just to survive. And it's becoming increasingly apparent how important water is and how delicate our water systems can be. My permaculture teacher, Shad Quadzi, he taught me that there's some very useful clues in Permaculture Principle number 12, which is to creatively use and respond to change. Every important function within a system should be performed by at least 3 elements. You gotta build function redundancy. Simply put, you need backups, especially with functions that are as critical as water. We have a well, which provides us drinking water right from the ground, and that's one element. But what happens if the pump stops working? Well, we have our pond. What do we do with that? Like, how do we use that water? We could get a manual charcoal filtration system so we can use pond water to drink in a bind. Okay, that's 2, but we need at least 3, remember? So let's build a 5,000 gallon water storage tank. That way, we're really secure. And remember, the more redundancy, the more secure you are. So I'm not gonna stop at 3. I would like to add one more function. I'm inviting Michael and Ilyana Dadashi, founders of Heartwater, one of Ducontra's portfolio companies, so that they can help me harvest the weather, use water from the sky, capture it on the roof, and add yet another water function. Not only is rainwater the purest form of water you can drink, harvesting rainwater is one of the most sustainable and environmentally friendly methods available.
We realized the bottled water industry is so unsustainable. It's such a dirty industry and something that's supposed to be so transparent, so clean.
In some cases, the water we buy practically is tap. It's been called the marketing trick of the century.
We did tons of research to find out what is the most sustainable water, number 1, what is the highest quality water, number 2, and what's something that we can access locally and then expand globally. And we partnered with amazing people, and they were rainwater engineers and scientists that developed this amazing product.
With the boil water notice still in effect for many parts of Austin, thousands of us are still in need of safe drinking water. Turns out a Buda facility has water in abundance, and they're working hard to get clean, bottled water to the community.
When the power outages hit and the water crisis hit the city, our company was completely unaffected because we're not connected to the city's water source. We're completely off the grid.
But it's been incredible to be able to give back and provide clean drinking water to the people who really need it.
So we have a license to capture and resell the water. That's a very specific license. And that's what we're looking to replicate in other states, is that state licensure, because we can prove to the local governments that 1, we're not pulling water from the local water table, and 2, we're doing it in a sustainable way. This is water that wouldn't even go back into the aquifers anyways. This can be as scaled up as a factory or scaled down as just, a house in a community where we can convert your roof into Heartwater tech and have the purest, highest quality Heartwater pumped right into your kitchen.
Awesome. Could I have a kintsugi outlet?
Yes,
You absolutely
yes.
can.
Done.
Michael, Ileana, thank you so much. Thanks so much. So what about people who don't even have one source of clean water? Without access to clean water, the system begins to collapse, and there's a cascade of other difficulties and challenges, barriers to education, income, and health, especially for women and kids. So that's why I invited Scott Harrison, founder and CEO of Charity Water, to tell us a little more about the other side of the water issue. Welcome, Scott.
Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Actually, it hasn't been that long. We met when I had just come back off the Mercy ship from Liberia with 50,000 photographs that I'd taken over a period of 2 years, embedded with these unbelievable humanitarian surgeons who were operating on a big hospital ship that would sail up and down Africa. But at the end of that journey, I had seen people drinking dirty water for the first time in my life. So it was really 2 years that took me, to kind of have that aha moment. Oh, wow, the root cause of so much of this sickness and suffering that the doctors are trying to treat after the fact could have been cured by providing the most basic need for life, the most basic need for health, clean water. So that's when I came back and told you. I was 30 years old, and I said, hey, I think I know really what I want to do. It's not fund expensive surgeries. It's not go find the next hospital ship to sail up and down the coast of Africa. It's to try to bring everybody on Earth clean drinking water. And I think everybody will agree this is a good idea. This is kind of a noble cause. And I thought I could build a movement around it.
I heard it was called Charity Water, and
it's not very creative, right?
Well, what's the name? And you're like, that's it, Charity Water. It's like very clear, very simple. And for me, I was like, it didn't make any sense, but it was genius because you basically brought it down to earth, something so clear and so actionable and so into connection with others. Also getting us to look at ourselves and the disparity between our lifestyle and what we take for granted.
That's the problem with this, with promoting this issue, is you're promoting it to people who have never experienced the lack of clean water. I mean, technically America has 100% water coverage, and there are definitely communities, throughout Appalachia and some Native American, communities that struggle with access to clean water. Flint, Michigan struggled, for many years.
I just put in rainwater catchment here. I'm working on that on the land. Aren't these kinds of solutions going to be more environmentally sound and also give us more local access to clean drinking water so that we're not robbing it from rivers in another state or other, maybe less environmentally friendly means?
Yes.
I know wells, right? Wells are one.
Wells are some. So there are 14 different technologies that we now use, across the kind of portfolio. So sometimes a well is the correct solution if there's groundwater. We're working in Rajasthan, India. You'd have to drill over 1,000 feet. It's just simply too deep to get at that groundwater. So there we harvest the rain, clean that rainwater, and then allow them to live completely off the grid for 12 months. In Cambodia, we run the largest bio-sand filter program in the world, using locally made material, sand and gravel and rock, and you pour the dirty surface water through it. Good bacteria kills the bad bacteria, and you've got clean water, at point of use in your home. So these are typically more small solutions that can be sustainable.
I think it's just a good idea for everybody to just start to participate and start to understand how important water is and figure out ways that they can start reaching out and being a service and helping others and beyond.
At the beginning of Charity Water, there were 1 billion people without access to clean water. Now we're down to around 800 million. So we've really made some progress, even as population growth has increased over 15 years. The people without access to water has decreased. I think we're going too slow, but I do believe it's possible, and the best is yet to come for water.
Well, my brother, I'm so happy to talk to you.
Of course. Okay, Adrian, I'll see you soon, man.
Look, I know these days there's a lot of uncertainty. Sometimes it feels dire, as if it's too late, that the end is nigh. But here at Earth Speed, we know that because of nature's infinite ability to evolve, there's always time to make a change. So it's important to be honest about our challenges, take a hard look at what's ahead, but let's not stay focused on that. Until next time, back up your water access and be prepared, but in a sensible way. Just as Earth's speed will dictate, cultivate resiliency by building function redundancy into your life. Take care.